Hi all, it's Kimberly and welcome back to the channel. I have a reading for you by special request, popular request. I have had a few emails over the past few weeks asking for me to read both the masculine and the feminine in the twin flame dynamic. I figured this would be a good time because I've already posted 2019 predictions. I've already posted for the full moon and for the winter solstice. And so this is kind of just a check-in on twin flame energies, where we're at year end and in the collective. Now remember, these are collective messages. So how do you read collective messages? You take what resonates for you and you leave what doesn't. And again, this is overall energy. Each person, each couple, each dynamic is, unique to its own set of experiences and unique dynamics within your connection. But overall, these are some of the themes that are coming up for twin flames at this time. So this is like really an exciting time as we near the end of this year, because 2019 does feel so bright. And hopefully you've had a chance to read my newsletters and read some of those forecasts for the end of this year and the predictions for next. We're really being asked to make those final cuts, leave what no longer serves us, and really face the new life, like face that direction and start to cultivate, nurture, and focus on what it is that we're doing, these big dreams, big goals, the mission. And a lot of that's going to come alive in 2019. So that's very exciting. All right, so if anyone wants to work in private session with me, you can book appointments on my website, theilluminguru.com. Click on sessions. I'm moving some things around the website right now, but all the sessions are right there. I've revised them a little bit. Some things have changed. Some things have been added. Take a look at that. I will be working through the holidays and after. So if you have time off of work during, between Christmas and New Year, and you're like, oh, hey, I'd really like to have a reading, just remember, I'm still available for you, okay? I'm not really going to block off my schedule through the holidays, so I will be around. And in my own downtime, I'm also working on and staying focused on what I'm being guided to do as well in my next phase. So know that I'm no exception to the collective. I'm also working towards and focusing on my next steps in my new life. So thank you for joining me. Let's talk about these messages as we've pulled now for the feminine and masculine. So I pulled very simply from the Rider-Waite Tarot deck, which I haven't used in a while, as well as from, I think these are the Doreen Virtue Archangel cards. So I've been working with the Archangels lately and feel a really huge resonance. So we're probably going to get some good messages coming through here. And then I pulled a couple of sort of clarifiers from Joe Jason's Sacred Feminine deck. Okay, and when I hold them up, I'll remind you whose are whose, just because I know you guys always wonder. All right, so let's talk about masculine, then we'll talk about feminine, then we'll talk about combined energies, okay? So for the masculine, they're showing me the Two of Swords, and this is still where the masculine or the masculine within you is still sort of fighting some of the things that they're not wanting to look at within themselves. This feels to me like it's very tied to a not trusting. This means not trusting others, not trusting in the timing, not trusting in how things are playing out, not trusting in the separation, not trusting in, but also like not just not trusting in the divine order, but not trusting the other person. And so these feel like trust wounds is very blatantly what they're talking to me about. And so this is stemming from within the masculine, where we have, and this is a great time to be purging this stuff and be mindful of it. So if you are masculine watching, or if this hits home for the masculine within you, this time at the full moon, releasing these remnants, integrating them, whatever the darkness is, integrating it into the light. We'll talk more about that in a moment. This is a great time to do that, to do these final releases. And so I feel like a lot of the masculine are doing this. Some are going to keep their blinders on for a little bit longer. But the wound feels like around trust. And that means like the masculine's having a hard time trusting the feminine at this time. It's like, oh, you know, she didn't stick around. Nobody sticks around. You know, I am left. You know, women cheat on men. You know, these are things that they have adapted as beliefs from their own upbringing. They're untrusting right now. They're not fully believing that all is in divine order. They're not believing that they can trust you fully. So wherever you're at in your dynamic, I'm just getting that trust issues are coming up from the masculine side. And this is something that the masculine has to work through within himself and understand where it stems from, because they're showing me it's stemming from. And actually, let's pull from the, I want to get some clarity on that. So I'm going to add a deck in here. I'm going to pull from the past life deck, which is past life, early life. I always say this always gives me clarity on, you know, inner child stuff, not just past life stuff. Whatever we've carried forward into this lifetime, whatever wounds that is, karma, whatever it is, we're here to heal, usually comes through in these cards for me. So the farm just flew out. The farm is contractual, like contractual obligations. It's usually when I see the farm, it's usually relating to something contractual. So let's get more clarity on that for the masculine. So we're just asking, where are these trust issues stemming from? We need more clarification on this. So they're coming up with, this is really interesting. So food and hunger. Okay. So this is like trusting around that, you know, money is, you know, money's coming, things are abundant. This is where they're not trusting in their own ability to manifest. This is growing up around scarcity thinking. This is maybe where one or both parents had distrust in one another, where they were fighting about money, where maybe one or both parents had to leave or make a sacrifice because of issues with money or lack, poverty, struggle, strife, whatever it is related to abundance. That's what that feels like. And they're also saying that some of this is, you know, from very early wounding. This feels like whenever I get this card, it's usually that the nurturing wasn't there from one or both parents. And this is where a lot of, I feel like that untrusting is rooted. It's a hurt. It's a deep sadness. It's a deep, you know, for the masculine, it's a deep sadness. It's a deep hurt. Like somebody didn't want me fully, or they couldn't love me enough. So I think we're going to see all of these things kind of hit home for different people. But those are the root issues, it feels like. It feels like not receiving the nurturing, the love, the care, the attention, whether there was abandonment from an early, it feels like early age, or whether it was just this feeling from the womb, from infancy, this feeling of not being fully loved by both parental units or cared for. And that's causing trust issues now, okay? And if someone left, so abandonment wound, again, we're seeing if someone left, although we're not seeing the orphan card for the masculine, but I do feel like if someone did leave, then that further reinforced this, or could have just spawned the whole, you know, core wound for the masculine. But at any rate, this stuff is surfacing now. This stuff is, if you feel the masculine pull back, if you hear remarks from them about trust, lack of trust, not trusting you, not trusting in the process, not trusting that money will come, fear around money. I did do an extended report, and if you didn't read that, I reposted it on Facebook, but most of you on my subscriber list received it. In that report, I talked specifically that at winter solstice, we're releasing our fears and blocks around money. And I talked specifically about how we can uncover the beliefs and the fears and where they stemmed from. And so if you didn't get a chance, please read that, because that's going to help you. Crowning over this from the Archangel deck is Divine Order. And this is part of why I was sensing like they're not trusting in the order of things. But it's also a distrust, you know, like the deeper wound where the blinders are on. And so, so let's go back to that. That deeper wound with the blind. I don't trust you, feminine. I don't trust you. You're going to hurt me. You left. You don't stick around. Women aren't faithful. Women aren't loyal. Whatever that is, that how they're judging, classifying that. It's from what they were taught, what was ingrained in them, what they learned, right? That programming. And there's scars. But what the masculine needs to recognize is that the feminine, the beloved, is not trying to hurt them. And even if she needs to leave, even if she needs to go explore another path, she still loves you. She loves you. She has love for you. She has love for you. She's trusting more in the divine order. She's hearing the calling of her higher self. She's trusting that. And she knows that by her pursuing her path and potentially leaving or even getting with another, you know, lover or soulmate or whatnot, that it's going to actually help bring you closer by following the guidance. And many of the feminine are doing this right now, and I think it's really triggering the masculine, okay? So again, divine order. This is like the masculine not trusting that, like, that's, you know, he's looking at the feminine like she's bad. She's done something bad. She betrayed me. You know, I can't trust her. I'm hurt, you know, and it's a victim sort of story mentality. And he's not trusting in the separation, and not trusting in her, and not trusting that. So masculine, if you're watching this, I have to remind you, your feminine, your beloved, loves you. And even if she's off on a new path, it's because it's for the highest good of both of you. And there's something more that it's propelling you to do, to take a higher perspective, to trust, to recognize where your fears are coming from. They're not really her. It's really your inner child stuff, your karmic stuff, that is calling out to be healed, so that you can come out of your fears into a state of trust. And then from that heals the connection, both parties being in a state of trust. Remember, what keeps twins in separation is the fear, are the wounds, are the scars, is the fear. It's only the fear. Once both are in alignment with themselves and in a state of trust or love, that's when unions happen, okay? So underneath this, the angel therapy card is, it's not angel therapy. Why did I just say that? The archangel card is all is well. And by the way, this was Archangel Raphael, and I'll read the message. Everything is how it needs to be right now. Look past the illusion and see underlying order. So that, remember, this reality is a 3D illusion. The feminine really does love you. You're being asked to see that everything is in order now and trust in it so that you can take your steps forward, masculine. So this all is well. The message is Archangel Jeremiah, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right. Everything is happening exactly as it is supposed to. With hidden blessings, you will soon understand. See? And that's, again, another confirmation here. Now, the clarifier card for the masculine is Morgan Le Fay, Sacred Feminine, from the Sacred Feminine deck. And this is really about integrating our shadow. This is really about balancing. This is really about the integration of that shadow. Now, I talk about this extensively in my Full Moon in Cancer report, because what I say is that the analogy that I used was that one of a supernova. Supernova is like a star that explodes, right? And the quote that I had in there was that, like, when this star explodes, the remnants contain the essential elements for life. So isn't that funny? From the destruction, there's life, or there's the potential for new life. So that's what we're being asked to do. It's not just releasing the fears around money or releasing these final, wounds. It's then taking that a step further and integrating the shadow and the darkness into the light. So what does this mean? This means masculine. If your feminine has left or gone on a new path or a different direction, one that you weren't expecting or anticipating, it's asking you to rise from the seeming ashes, because they're really not ashes. This is just what it appears to be. And heal that wound around the trust and understand where that stems from within you. And then begin trusting that this is in divine order. And then take that and transmute it. And what they're showing me is that this is how you can transmute it, masculine, is through arts. So that could be music for some of you. It could be listening to music, playing music, doing something artistic, carving. They're saying carving something, carving. I don't. If someone is watching this and you are carve things, I'm getting that message for you. So that would be very therapeutic. Transmute the energy, and then take the remnants of, or what feels like remnants on the 3D plane, and turn that into your new life force energy, into the healing, into the integration, pour that into the new life. Those are actually the foundational elements of the new life. And this is for the masculine as well. It's not the feminine who is just pushing forward. It's also the masculine, but the masculine, I feel like, is a little bit more passive in this. He's being forced into it. Some are a little bit more resistant. And I'm saying forced by circumstance, most likely because the feminine is pioneering in many circumstances, many cases. Not all, but many. So if you are left in the rubble in confusion and distrust, they're saying it's time for you to look within yourself, and it's time to take those ashes and begin building. Those are actually foundational elements for you to build something for yourself. Carve your path, illuminate your path and your healing. And then you will start to see that love is there, that love exists even when it's unseen. You will start to trust and believe more, masculine. You will have more faith. And I think that's a big issue for the masculine right now. Faith feels lost. So this is a hard holiday season for some masculine. Some of the masculines here. Faith feels lost. Some of you need that though, because that's going to help you actually, plummet and come back up, or hit that low and come back up. And that might be coming back up to enter into a new kind of relationship, or that might be to really, take a new path in your work life. But I do feel the new life right there for the masculine as well. If the feminine has left a masculine and you're watching this, they also just said, it's there for you to see pieces of yourself you haven't wanted to, the pieces of yourself that are still codependent, or if there's addictions, it's a gift for you, okay? So feminine, we have the 4 of Wands in reverse, and I posted something on the Instagram today. I think it was Instagram and Facebook. So if you guys don't follow on social media, please do. Always posting tons of stuff, information, inspiration. It's the Illumined Guru. It's at the Illumined Guru, or Facebook.com/the Illumined Guru, and it's at the Illumined Guru on Instagram. So I posted something about coming home to ourselves, right? And what that means. And this is really what this is representing. This is how they're showing it to me. Under this Cancer full moon, home is highlighted, but this is truly, it feels like celebratory. It feels like, the feminine coming home to herself, a new idea of what home is within herself. Self-reliance, trusting in herself, celebrating herself. And they're reminding you, feminine, about gentleness. So Archangel Sandalphon says, be very gentle with yourself at this time. Surround yourself with gentle people, situations, and environments. Well, we know on the cusp of the holidays that might not be fully possible. So they're saying, like, really self-care, especially for you empaths, especially if you're going to be in family dynamics. Actually, I'm really getting the message that a lot of you are deciding to opt out of some of the family gatherings this year. And there are naysayers in your family. There's people that don't like it, and that's okay because you're self-caring. We don't want you to isolate, but some of you are making some good decisions about this, okay? Like, you've been torn about it, and now they're saying, like, it's okay. It's okay if you don't go to that party or you don't go to that gathering. This is you really, truly self-caring. Others of you, it's just that you're going to have some time off of work. You're going to be at home more during the holidays, before the new year. Like I said, I keep seeing people taking baths, nurturing yourself, comforting yourself, and being gentle with yourself. Really taking care of yourself. They're saying new workout regimens. They're saying new health and diet regimens. Rest. Because we're gearing up, don't forget, especially feminine, because most feminine have already made their steps onto the new path, the new life, or you're doing it, or you're there. And so come January, things are going to be busy again. They're showing me learning and knowledge and focus and nurturing that new venture, that new thing. And, feminine, you're busy. You're busy because by March, you're manifesting. So underneath the surface or underneath the, coming home to yourself is beloved one. And this is Archangel Chamuel. And it says, I'm helping you with your spiritual soulmate relationship, beloved one. So this is saying by coming home to yourself, this is how, and I feel like we can look at that, not just beloved one, but one. This is like you coming home to yourself. Finding that oneness, being okay on your own, self-reliance, loving yourself, aligning with yourself fully. And this is how the archangels and our guides and our angels and the situations are going to heal. Because you're coming home to yourself. And that's going to actually attract your twin flame to you. That's actually, and those of you who haven't met your true twin flame, they're coming. And those of you who are in separation, this is the work that you must do. And this is the real work. It's not, this is the real stuff. It's about you coming into alignment with you. Now, you've broken some of these codependent behaviors. You've broken away from things. You've got away from the things that have not been healthy, not been serving you, not in alignment with your highest path or highest good. You may have been guided into something. Recently, lots of changes, lots of things changing, a new place, a new location, a new relationship, a new home, a new job, a new life. And some of you may not know why. And I've been saying this for a while. It's like that you just heard the calling and you followed it. And others of you know exactly why. So the clarifier card for this is Kali Ma. And Kali Ma is always about endings and beginnings and surrendering. And it's interesting because the bottom of the tarot deck is the Hanged Man. So it's in reverse. But again, it's like reminding us surrender, to trust in the changes that you've just made, trust in all the endings and the beginnings. Trust in the endings because the new beginning is bright. And she wants us to trust in this. Okay? Wherever you have stepped towards, it's really good. You wouldn't have stepped towards it over the past few months if it wasn't for your highest good. So those of you who have made those changes, bravo. It took courage. It took guts. It took clarity. It took a lot. It took probably the whole year for you to really make those changes. And they're saying, in both for the divine feminine and masculine, like trust in the divine order, trust that there's love here. that there's an illusion in the 3D of separation, and that separation really isn't real. You can always feel your twin in the 5D, always. And when you're happy on your own path, creating the joy, manifesting in your manifestation energy, in your power, on your mission, helping others, serving others, and doing that from a cup that's full within yourself, that's when things start to change in your life, in your dynamics with your twin flame, all of that. So let's look at the combined energies for the twins. So we have the Page of Pentacles. Okay. And this does feel like sort of the new focus, like this new focus on what we're doing in the world. And, you know, it's like something that we're nurturing now, or the thing that we start nurturing now that needs to mature. It needs the maturation. We need to mature with it. You know, some of these things that you're going to be doing are like breakout ventures, like going out on a limb, things that you never dreamt you would be, well, you dreamt that you would be doing, but always thought maybe it was a pipe dream or something you would do later in life, but like you're doing them now. And they're saying that you're going to mature with your projects, your ventures, your mission. And it's important to stay focused at this time. Not on the past or what's gone wrong, and not on the future and the outcome, but just on what's before you and what you're supposed to be doing in this new life, with these new beliefs and this new mission, and how you're serving people differently. And underneath this is the Five of Cups in reverse. And I do feel like for the masculine, like he's needing to turn around and see the blessings in this situation, see the full cup, see and find that within himself. And for the feminine, I feel like she's already made that turn. Many of the feminine have already made that turn into themselves, into that fulfillment within themselves. And crowning over this is the Eight of Cups. And this is that decision. This is about that decision to walk away. And this also feels like eclipse energy. Okay, so we're going into an eclipse on January 5th. It's a partial solar eclipse. And that's going to bring some things to light. Maybe some more endings, beginnings for some of you who didn't make all of those severs or the changes or the decisions that needed to be made. Some of you might be choosing to walk away from something. But trust that whatever you're walking away from, it's really you walking towards yourself. And if someone has left you, it's so that you can come home to yourself. Okay? And since I pulled some of the my past life, early life cards for the masculine, I'll just pull a few for the feminine, just so we can know what she's, you know, working on. So we're getting a Native American and love life. So this feels related for the feminine to lifetimes as a healer, her connection to shamanic work, shamanic training, your connection to the land, to the earth, and coming in contact with that, I think, through your gifts. And many of you are exploring shamanism or shamanistic practices. I know that because I touch in with you through my own, you know, business, my own practice, and my clients. I just hear it left and right, left and right. I just saw something just to let you know on, I don't know if you guys follow on Instagram. I think it's Copa de Silva. Hold on, I'm going to tell you. Because there is a training for those of you who are in the UK. Okay. So Copa de Silva is a shamanic healer, teacher, coach. And I just saw a post that there was a UK training, like a teacher training or something. So if you guys are in the UK and you don't know about Copa, check that out. There's lots of resources online. There's lots of classes. I'm sure you have local practitioners near you. This might be an urge to either get back in touch with your own inner healer, like medicinal stuff, like how you're healing yourself. I feel that for many of you. I'm all about that. I'm all about homeopathic remedies and tinctures and, you know, and self-healing. So it feels like that, medicine man, medicine woman, shamanic studies, things like that might become places that you want to explore, information that you want to explore, okay? Practices that you want to explore. And then we have love life, which came up in reverse. And they're saying trust, feminine. You have love, you know, either coming in, coming back in, or blooming in your life. And like I've been saying for many, like from March to May, like you're in love. Like there's twin flame unions, there's twin flame reunions, there's soulmate that's coming in for some of you. If you are feeling hurt in the love department, or like things don't work out for you, that old story of, you know, why does love elude me? Why am I single? Why do I not have, you know, this or that? They're saying it's coming. You need to trust. And this is an aspect of your life that's going to be healing. And I feel like between now and like middle of, you know, 2019, they're saying by June for many of you. New love or returning love. And it's really positive. So that's huge. Trust. Don't stop telling those stories about it never works out. In fact, I have to say that over the past week, I became privy to some information about an old flame of mine who has, you know, moved on, got married, is having a baby, and when I saw it, when I got that information, it hit me. It really hit me. It really hit me. And I began to play that tape. I have to admit, I played that tape for a day or two, around, why is it working out for him? And it, you know, and it's like, you know, blah, blah, blah. You got to kind of get it out. You got to, like I posted on my social media, you got to have a pity party. You've got to do it, but then release that, because we know that that's not the truth. You all have been evolving and changing, and so much change and evolution and work and healing. You should be so proud of yourselves. That's what's enabling you to line up with someone who's of a higher consciousness, or enabling you to come back into union, harmonious union with your twin flame. So be proud of yourself, and know that everyone else is on their own timing. And especially, you know, like I'm just saying, like feminine, you know, it's coming. And so masculine, do you want to be ready? Because you can be ready if you like, and you can be there, but trust. I do feel love coming in for the masculine in 2019 too. So it could be through these unions. It could be new love. Okay. Lots of healing that has taken place. This is putting us further along in our progression. It's definitely where we're going into a year where we're making big forward strides. And we're going to start to see it, like I said, in the spring. And then through those next eclipses. And then it's going to be like massive expansion and a lot of dreams come true. And unions, marriages, travel, business ventures, you know, fulfilled, success, lots of great things. I'm excited about this new year. I hope you are too. So hopefully that was helpful for you. I love you guys. Check out theillumineguru.com if you want to work with me, and I'll see you all in the new year. Mwah. Bye.